This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. I'm joined by Foxy G immediately after Stop Happy getting stopped by Tony Ferguson. Your thoughts on the stoppage?
I don't think it was a great stoppage, if I'm honest. I think maybe to the outside, people are gonna call me biased or anything. I don't really care. Maybe I am. But just seeing Salt and the work that he's put into this and what he deserves to get out of this fight, to have it just taken away by, in my opinion, a referee that premeditatedly stopped that fight, right, early. Maybe I used the wrong word there. I didn't graduate high school. It was early, and Salt was bossing that fight. He was doing great, and maybe that was Tony's game plan to let the rounds go by. But regardless, I think Salt should have been given more of an opportunity to keep doing his work in that fight, and it's just disappointing.
It's very strange that as the first Stoppage didn't seem too hurt, but at least a standing count against the ropes. I mean, fair enough he took a knee, but
How is the Joey Essex Numero fight not getting stopped? And these are guys that are nowhere near. No disrespect to them, but it's Joey's first boxing match. This isn't Tony Ferguson and Salt Papi. You know, obviously Tony, a legend of the UFC, and Salt, a guy that has dedicated his life to this sport for the last 4 years, right? So why are we letting them take right hands, boom, and then another right hand, boom, to each other, right? And they get standing 8 counts, but Salt Papi gets stopped after bossing the first 2.5 rounds against Tony Ferguson. In the main event, right? We're doing a double main event. It's the main event. What are we doing, guys? It's shit. It's not good. It's an embarrassment.
should the ref again? Your thoughts on the referee?
Man, the referee's here for a reason, right? Like, the referee's here for a reason. He's clearly qualified for the job. I'm not going to speak. I don't know the ref personally or any of his previous work, so I can't say that. But, you know, that stoppage was terrible, you know? 100% of the time I've seen the ref, it's been not good enough. I don't know if he should be fired for it. I just don't agree with his stoppage. But at the end of the day, he's the man in charge, and he was given the job, so that was the decision.
And before stoppage, your thoughts on how the fight was going for either man?
I mean, listen, I got to admit, first and foremost, Tony was a lot tougher than I expected, you know, I think than a lot of people expected. He was taking those shots nicely. I think Salt hurt him a couple of times. I think Salt could have followed up with more of his work. But I think overall Salt was executing the game plan quite well, right? There's always things that you can have better. But I felt like going into that round that Salt was doing everything perfect.
Do you think that maybe Salt could use his jab a little bit more? He seemed to kind of grow very fond of the right hand, loading up his shots a little bit.
Yeah, it's all
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
yeah. That's the words I'm looking for. It's all null and void now, man. Those are all things that I guess the team will go back to the drawing board on going forward, right? But regardless of how we feel about the fight or the stoppage or all of those things, there's always stuff that you can learn from, right? I mean, regardless, you should never end up against the ropes, you know, taking shots. It's not a good look, right? And, you know, I understood the referee stepping in initially, and then he started waving his hands, and that's when I was like, what are we doing? Because back to my previous point, Joey Essex and Numero, both guys that don't have anywhere near the experiences of these guys, or, you know, there's a title challenger on the line. This is the
Interim belt.
Exactly, the interim belt. This is what's on the line here. So you're not going to give Salt a chance, right? He hasn't touched the canvas. He's been boxing beautifully for 2 rounds, barely getting touched, right? So, yeah. But listen, at the end of the day, I'm not taking away from Tony. Tony did his thing, so congrats to them.
Would Team So Happy want to do the rematch, do you reckon?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Salt already wants to rematch AT and Slim down the line, you know? And I think that this is, I mean, obviously recency bias, you know, but I think that this is the most justified fight to have a rematch with. I think the rematch should happen. I mean, it was a good fight beforehand. Tony was having success as well. I don't want to just discredit and say, like, oh, it was rigged or anything like that. But, like, Salt was doing good, man. And, you know, Tony got the win. And at the end of the day, it was a good fight. They're both going to go home healthy. Both got paid. Run it back, man. Run it back. For me, what hurts, I think, the most is just Salt's redemption journey coming down to just somebody that, in my opinion, stopped the fight early. You know, it feels like all that work was just taken away from this motion. You know what I mean? And I think Salt deserved the opportunity to dig deep. Because, listen, Tony had him there. Maybe the fight was going to start getting tough for Salt. Maybe that was Tony's game plan, like I said. I think Salt should have been given the opportunity to put everything to the test, put it all on the line, put his heart on the line, because that's what he wants to do. And he's worked so hard to get this opportunity for the Gibb fight and to get what everyone knows he deserves. And it just doesn't feel right now. It's never going to feel right with a loss, but it just doesn't sit right for Salt, man.
Do you think that Tony Ferguson might do the Gibb fight, considering now, I guess, he's technically Gibb's mandatory?
I mean, why wouldn't he? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, why wouldn't he? In his world, he just got the win, and congratulations to him. He broke the Tony Ferguson curse, I guess. You know, so good for him.
8 fight losing streak or 7 fight losing streak.
Something crazy like that, man. But I mean, in his world, why would he not? I'd give him a lot of respect if he gave Salt the rematch. The same way I would Slim and Anthony, you know, because once you have a win on somebody, like that's like me right now. If Waleed asks for a rematch, why am I going to do that? You know what I mean? But I'd give him.
There's controversy. There's controversy in this one, whether you and Waleed there wasn't.
I understand. So that's kind of what I'm saying. That's why I think the rematch should definitely be a thing. Maybe not next if that's not what they want to do, but I 100% in the future. And don't make him have to fight an Amadeus Ferrari and all these guys, a King Kenny, to get it back. You know, he's earned this opportunity, and it's this one. As he lost the AT fight, he lost the Slim fight. This fight, it just doesn't feel like a loss.
At least if you're gonna lose, feel like you lost. Rather, there must be such a frustrating feeling, damn, I was still in the fight and they got taken.
Bro, imagine.
I'm not saying that Salt would have gone on to win. Sure, he might have gone on strong. I mean, Salt looked like he was tiring, and Tony could have come on strong in the later rounds. So you never know. But
we never know. We never know. That's why I'm never gonna disrespect Tony here or the referee. I just don't think it was good enough tonight. But it's like me giving you a math test. I'm your teacher. I give you a math test, and you have all this time to and you're a C student, right? That's what I was. I needed to pass my final, right? Imagine I studied so hard, which I didn't, but let's say I did study hard for my final exam, and then I'm killing it. I'm getting all the answers right. It's feeling great, and then I have to think on an answer for a second, and then my teacher takes it away. What's that, man? Give me the opportunity to use my brain and use the skills that I've been studying. It's the same thing with this. He's been working for years for this opportunity, and you're going to take it away just as easy as that. It wouldn't feel right if he wasn't my teammate, but him being that, it hits a lot more.
Frustrating feeling. Then does this give you motivation? I know not to sort of avenge him, but for you to work even harder in camp now for your next fight?
Bro, we're always working hard, man. And, you know, Salt always has been motivating me, win, lose, or draw. He's always motivated, man. We were literally yesterday in the hotel gym. Coach had me running a 10K. Then I had to do sprints. Then I had to do he fucked me up in the gym, and I was the whole time he was just saying, "Would Salt be making faces through this? Right. Would he complain once? He doesn't, bro. You could tell Salt anything. It looks like it doesn't even register. You could tell him to run a marathon, and he'll say, "Okay, coach."
Yeah.
You know, so there's no demotivation. It's just. It doesn't feel right, but like I just said, Salt's gonna take this one on the chin, and he's gonna keep going, man. He's gonna have his head held high. He's not embarrassed. He is who he is. He goes in and he fights with his heart, and that's it.
All right. Well, I'll go catch up with him in a little bit. But yeah, thank you very much for your time. I'm sorry I had to be such a sad interview, but yeah, on come Darren to Luke Rockhold in about 5 minutes time. Yeah, right now.
Yeah, no, appreciate you always, Fred, and everyone. Salt Papi will be back.